Cam got hit.
Welcome, folks, to another review with my boy Najir from Big Gold Belt Show. What's going on, man?
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
Pretty good. We're here to talk about Glass. It's a new M. Night movie starring Bruce Willis, James McAvoy, Samuel L. Jackson, and Sarah Paulson. So, it's crazy to me when it comes to M. Night because I think people forget. Everybody remembers the bad at M. Night, which is very much 100% fair. And I felt when he did The Visit, that kind of made him realize, hey, why don't I just make a good movie and worry about the twist later? And I think that's what made the Visit so good is that, like, while you got the twist, it wasn't a specter over the plot. It was like, oh, this is actually a pretty good movie, and it was the same with Split too and stuff. I think the twist in that one, it was like I don't even think Split really had a twist per se. I mean, I guess if you count the ending with David Dunn popping up at the end, I guess. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it was still a good movie and stuff. I was never one of those people that overhyped it. I mean, did you enjoy Split? I should ask that.
Oh yeah, I like Split. And I think you take the twist at the end of Split. It's really not a twist because they spoke about it at Comic-Con and they had the idea of wanting to do this. And of course, contractually there was issues here. Mm-hmm. But once M. Night told Bruce Willis what he wanted to do, Bruce being Bruce, like, all right, I'm on the next flight. Let's just do it. Let's worry about like the logistics of like, the ramifications of this later.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a thing that was always going to be. It just happened to be acceptable. It just happened to happen.
Yeah.
So if you take that last big part out, well, then you just had just a movie that didn't feel so M. Night-ish, and it worked. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I mean, you got Glass coming out, and I just remember. And I mean, look, I was part of those people when I saw Bruce Willis at the end of Split. I was like, "Oh shit, we're getting it. This is dope. This is awesome. Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening and all that stuff." And we were kind of curious. Okay, what's the next movie going to be? And they said Glass, and then they showed. Remember when they showed that teaser trailer, and it was like McAvoy, Willis, and Sam Jackson in that room with Sarah Paulson. I was like, "Oh. How did this happen?" And then boom, we saw that. But yeah, Glass. It's actually not bad of a movie. I know a lot of people are going to like try to dissect it and try to find some deep spiritual meaning and stuff. I guess for me, I'm not speaking for you and stuff, but I know for me, like I watched it, I was like, oh, it's actually an alright movie. It was entertaining and stuff. It had some twists and turns. It had a twist that I didn't see coming. I will give the movie that. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll say the twist that it does have, it's definitely different than what I had in my mind going into the movie or what the twist could possibly be. So,
yeah, I'll spoil it. M. Night didn't do an M. Night twist, if you ask me.
Oh yeah. You know what?
That's the twist.
That's a good point. He really didn't do the typical M. Night twist. It's actually one of those like, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, like I was like, there has to be more.
yeah, because there's a point in the movie where you're thinking it's like that's the ending, and then it's like, oh, there's more. Okay, thank God. Whew. Man, because I mean, but I will say this. I guess for you, what was like your thoughts about this movie going into it, and just after seeing it and such?
Yeah, it really got really harsh reviews, and so I mean, with M. Night Shyamalan, you take it with a grain of salt. But I will again allude back to Comic-Con where his press panel, he had the trailer had the biggest pop of the entire day. Mm-hmm. And that same day came with the likes of Halloween, Aquaman, Shazam, Godzilla. I mean, Yeah, it was a pretty like great lineup that day, but he had it. He absolutely had the fans behind him. He spoke a very lot, considering that he had big personalities such as Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis up there. James McAvoy was sick, so he wasn't able to make it. But he did what he had to do. He came up there and he sold the movie. He got fans emotionally invested in it, and at this point now, along with the trailers, you're like, okay, I see what people are saying about this movie, but
yeah,
I'm still gonna go see it. Like Visit, I was like, hell no. no. First of all, just no. But this, he did such a good job in self marketing and or promotion that it was like, okay, I see a little Beware, but I'm going to take this chance still.
Yeah.
So in a combination of all that and seeing the movie, yeah, it just doesn't quite deserve the harsh reviews it got. But I didn't hate it. I'm still really processing my initial thought, because I don't want to say I like it, but I know I didn't hate it. I'm working my way up. I'm getting to a point where I'm comfortable with.
That's why I said it felt all right to me. Because like I said, I'm never one of those people when I look at an M. Night film and I'm all like on some, it's the theater of the mind or anything. Because it's like, I remember when Sixth Sense came out, and while I love the twist, I just remember people really like picking it apart and trying to find deeper meaning. And I'm like, I guess if you want to find a deeper meaning, I guess, and it's just like, I get a feeling people are going to see that in this film, which I get. But like I said, I think it's an alright movie. There was a point, and then like I said, again, not spoiling it, because I think folks should see it just out of curiosity to see what they think of it. Where M. Night went full M. Night, and then it's like he caught himself and was like, oh shit, let me dial it back a bit, because I got a little too crazy for that moment. Yeah.
I mean, there is a tremendous amount of questionable dialogue in the movie. Man. There's some moments where I'm like, oh, please, let's chill out just a little bit.
I'll say this: McAvoy
is the man.
McAvoy, he stole the show. I would say he stole the show. He's definitely taken where he left off at in Split with his personas and stuff, that he had, and he sells you on that, particularly when it comes to the Beast and stuff. We do get a little bit more of the Beast, which is great. Bruce Willis, basically, again, it felt like all these characters were kind of picking up from their respective movies, basically. And especially with like Bruce Willis as David, and it was nice to see David's son pop back up older now, same character. I thought that was something I didn't see coming. I was like, oh, his son is back, and that's cool. And the whole premise is essentially like, if you remember the end of Split, Kevin dipped out, and escaped and such. And when we pick up with this movie, he's still kind of kidnapping women in particular and stuff, and has them chained up. And David, since we saw him at the end of Split, he's been kind of trying to keep tabs to see where the Kevin is, while also kind of fighting crime as the overseer. And Samuel Jackson's character Elijah, he's basically in a institution and stuff, but he doesn't pop up until I would say 20 minutes into the movie. And basically, in more or less, hijinks ensues once all three of these characters kind of all pop up in the same place, essentially. And Sarah Paulson is like the psychiatrist that feels that all of them are kind of having these delusions of grandeur and stuff, and they think that they're superhuman beings, but they're not. And you also have, I think Elijah's mom, she pops back up, and also the girl from I think Casey from Split, she pops back up. So it's kind of like it all ties into one another
I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't have any casting problems. Everybody
Right.
reprised their roles, so it's very easy to understand what's happening. And it sounds like this sounds like this is like okay, yeah, whatever. But like when you talk about major movies and stuff like that, this typically becomes a very big issue, and it does become and it at times it could dictate how the story is being told because they don't have that same either level of stardom behind the person or just the person who doesn't have the same emotional tie to their character because they wasn't the origin. They didn't grow with the origin of the movie.
Oh yeah, and I think everybody plays. What's I think probably why I like the film as a whole and stuff is that everybody plays their part. Nobody is trying to like step over the other person's toes and overact or anything. Like Bruce Willis is being his character from Unbreakable. He isn't trying to go crazy with it or anything. He's exactly what you expected out that character. Same with McAvoy. Even Samuel L. Jackson's, Mr. Glass to an extent is what we remember from the end of Unbreakable. And stuff. He's this person that has this belief in, hey, superheroes exist. And he buys into it, and I think that's what makes it the perfect foil for Sarah Paulson's, psychiatrist, who she's just like, no, this is BS. This can't be real, and that's what makes it cool with just her kind of like trying to debunk all this and stuff. And it's just like I said, the movie gets to a point where it really tries to get all like preachy about comic book movies, and then it stops itself a little bit,
True.
But yeah, it's put it this way. Oh, like I think if you go into this film and not have expectations of what the trailer gave you, you'll enjoy it. If you're expecting a certain type of movie, you might come away disappointed. I mean, I don't know if I'm really necessarily saying it right per se. I guess you can help me out on that one.
I just and look, here's the thing: you have to go into this movie with caution.
Yeah.
Because the director is the director.
It's M. Night, yeah.
And he's basically J.R. Smith for films. When he's hot, that guy is a very great asset to whatever team he's playing on.
Talent's there.
When he's cold, you're like, why is he even in the NBA?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's not get it twisted. J.R. Smith have had plenty of good games back in the past on good teams. And he balled crazy. And then he has moments like on the Cavs where you're just like, wait a minute. So, the dynamics here is just, go in there with caution and just drop your expectation for what you think this movie should be. Right. Just let what it's trying to, the trailer's just trying to display is, I think, an adequate amount of just enough to say like I have an idea of what this is.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll say this because we rarely ever we do, but it's just like I think we get me and D get so wrapped up in like the movie itself and just talking about it and stuff. I will say this though, I did like the music and cinematography in this film. Yeah,
I don't know, because there were some points too where I was just like, I really hate this shot. Like, I really do.
Well, I mean, you have a non-spoiler shot, I guess, as an example.
See, there was an inverted, there was a flip shot that I hated, and then anytime. So the one thing about me, is that I feel like if you're going to show any type of wording, writing, or any type of whatever. They want you. They want to draw you to it. That's why it is what it is. But like, geez, there were some points where it was just like, I can't even make that out. Like, hold the goddamn camera straight. You know what I mean?
It wasn't shaky cam, but I see what you're saying. It's like, hey, just pause it real quick so we can actually.
Yeah, let's get this point right here because there's something you're trying to show.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I did like the visuals of it. Despite those little misgivings and stuff. I felt the music cues were pretty good as well. Nothing that's like, I want to get the original soundtrack of Glass or anything, but it was like, it's actually not bad and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of, it does have that Blumhouse feel to it as well. I will definitely give it that too.
That's so weird because I just don't even agree with that. But I got to think about this though because Blumhouse just did Halloween.
Yeah.
And there was the opening scene. You're just like, okay, Blumhouse is here.
Yeah,
we know what type of we know the angles and kind of sort of say the tone of what they want to do.
yeah.
And it didn't totally give you that the entire movie, so I just was like, okay, this doesn't quite feel like a Blumhouse film.
I mean, because you know what it is. The only reason why I say this is because like they did Split, right? So it had a little bit of the feel of what they were doing with Split. So when I saw this, it's like this has some Blumhouse-esque stuff to it a little bit, but it's not like the Blumhouse that we know and love from like like Happy Death Day or Upgrade or something like that.
Sure.
So it's like it's there, but I think because this is a mainstream movie, it's not exactly there per se.
Yeah, the other thing I will say is too, throughout the 3 movies, the tone is pretty consistent. I will say there is no up down.
Oh yeah,
to me,
that
is rare.
Yeah, and I think that's why like I enjoyed the movie because they kept the tone. Like I said, I mean, I guess credit to M. Night for keeping that tone and not going erratic with it. Because like I said, the point in the movie, and when you guys see it, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a point where it's like, oh boy, don't tell me M. Night's going to go off rails. Okay, thank God. Thank God. Oh my God, man. It's like when you guys see it, you're going to be like, oh, I see what he's saying. He almost got there, and it's like, I don't know whether somebody told him, like, no, don't do that.
Yeah. Also, when I think about the 3 movies, I will say that the sort of say that the plot twist or whatever for the end of Split ain't really even, considering the fact that we did get this 3rd movie. So it just consecutively brought you into the 3rd movie with purpose. Mm-hmm. So now that we're here is the question. With Glass has felt like the end of a trilogy. Yeah. Will it be? Who knows? I don't know. I mean, a trilogy is called a trilogy for a reason, but like any franchise, when the money's involved, trilogy, just a whole saga.
I mean, look, they crafted it and stuff. Like I said, I think that's why I think with M. Night recently, you're either in or out. But I got a feeling that you're gonna have people that are tired of folks really trying to read deep into it when it's not that deep. And I think that's where you're going to probably get people that's going to either like Glass or not like Glass. I don't think, like, if I'm really taking whatever I liked about the movie, it's a movie as a whole, as a movie, it's actually not that bad.
Yep.
But like I said, I'm not going to sit there and make it out to be the greatest thing ever. It's like, no, like you said, they kept it consistent. I can watch Unbreakable, I can watch Split and watch this, and I'd be like, that was actually a pretty satisfying trilogy.
Yeah.
Tone and everything. It's just stuck through the whole way, So, like I said, everybody played their parts. I mean, it's nothing really to go deep into and stuff. I think that's probably wise because they kept the cast just straight to the main players. They didn't like divulge into this random person that we supposed to care about but not care about.
Mm-hmm.
They just kept it strictly to the people that we've seen in these movies, straight to the point. So I think that also worked in the movie's favor too as well. So
I agree.
Got any final thoughts before we bounce?
Yeah, I mean, look, just go. If you want to see the movie, then go see it. If if you're on the rails about it, just go see it. I mean, this is one of those movies, build your own opinion. I feel like everyone I interacted with after this has their own opinion. No one's really ridiculing anybody for liking or disliking it. It is just what it is. The battle comes apart when you get on the internet, you start reading reviews, and you start dealing with people who are just like really passionately trying to get people to not go or to go. My thing is, if you're a fan, then go. Yeah. If you don't want to see it, then don't see it. Yeah. That's literally my feeling about it. If you want to see how this trilogy concludes, see it. If you just nothing else to see, I would still go see it because I don't think there's really anything to compete with it at this point.
I mean, at this point, you just got Glass and then the residuals of Aquaman, Bumblebee, and all them other movies. So it's like if you haven't seen those movies, then see this, and then Battle Alita is probably next after this. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, middle of February.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'm in there for that.
Yeah, so I know for me, I guess if I had to give it a grade, I'd probably shoot like 7 out of 10. I mean, it's like I said, I enjoyed it and stuff. I think you'll probably enjoy it. I know some people felt it was bad. I was like, I guess I get it, but I think as long as you don't come into it with any baggage and stuff, you'll be fine with it.
Yeah,
So.
I'm right with you on the same rating. I'm fine. I really love Split. The biggest high point is James McAvoy. He's the man. He kills the personality.
He stole this. I will say this. He stole this movie and his ability. Look, when we talk about actors that embody roles and stuff. I mean, you got to talk about McAvoy. You have to talk about what's his face that plays Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. Shit.
Say that. I'm sorry. I was reading.
Dude that plays Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. Shit.
That plays Caesar. That did the mocap.
Yeah, did the mocap. God damn it.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Why we're thinking about that? Let me just read this quick tweet by M. Night Shyamalan real quick.
Oh, he has a tweet.
Yeah, he says, as the characters believe in the comic book world, the primary colors in the film become more dominant. As they stop believing, they fade into a monochromatic world. The pink room where they do therapy is pink. Red fading into white because this is where they stop believing.
Huh.
That's pretty deep.
Now I have to go back and check it out again. It's like, damn it, what did I miss?
I will say this really quick. That's part of the reason why I'm here is because he did that type of promotion for to get people invested, and I think that's just a very I think that's just it's the same thing. You're doing small promotion and now it's getting people to think. And when you think about it too, the one thing I always wondered was upon coming into this movie is what is symbolic about the different colors on the posters. There's some reason and there's something behind that. And then when you start seeing the different rooms, you started thinking like there's something behind that. So that's a very interesting tweet.
Yeah. He says, because there's another tweet that I see. It's like, so he basically said, I chose green for David because psychologically it is associated with life-giving properties. David is the protector of life. I chose ochre or mustard for the beast because this color is associated with religious ceremonies, Hindu and Buddhist, a monk's robe. I see the beast as an evangelist, a preacher who wants to save the broken. Yeah. And then finally, I chose purple for Mr. Glass because this color has been associated with royalty, majestic qualities. Elijah sees himself as important, which is 100% true.
Yep. I didn't even hear that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, that's deep. Oh, and also he's talking about Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. Yeah, it's like McAvoy and Serkis. They've been kind of in the run-ins of like playing roles as like out of the ordinary.
True.
Which I think is great. So I wouldn't be like, I would definitely put McAvoy as a nomination for a role per se. I definitely would. So
yeah, I felt about that with Split, and I think he just upped the ante on this. So that's definitely a positive there.
Yeah. So 7 out of 10. Definitely go check it out. If you can. And you got any where people can find you at?
Yeah, website bigoldbellgroup.com. All your information there. Find at least everything else.
Cool. And you could probably listen. I think Dee's probably editing the Wrestle Corner episode, and you'll hear Najir on that as we wax wrestling and such. And occasionally I'll pop up on his show as well. So it's
that's right.
It's all fun. So with that in mind, we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Phoebe.